Welcome to Sports Close-Up. Mike Fiorillo, special guest host today, Ed Marin. Ed, thanks for helping out.
Hey, thanks for having me, Mike.
Show today is about golf, local golf stars. We have Will Phelan from Sagertown, who did very well this year. We're going to discuss about his year. And also the head coach of Sagertown is building a powerhouse down there, Brian Hanley. And Coach, thanks for coming on.
Oh, thank you.
So, Will, let's get right to you. You're a senior.
Yes.
This is your last year of high school golf. Tell us about your year. Did it go as planned? How well did you do?
During the beginning and the middle of the year, I'd say so. Of course, I didn't finish the way I wanted to, but I felt my golf game was a lot better, and I made a lot of improvements.
And, Coach, tell us what makes Will such a great golfer, in your mind.
Will's a very unique child. I've been teaching school.
Is that good or bad, Coach?
No, that's good.
right.
This time. We're talking athletics. It's
Okay,
good. We're
there we
talking other things. It's may not be so good. I've been teaching phys ed for 32 years, and in phys ed, I do a juggling activity. And when Will was in first grade, he was the only kid in 32 years ever to be able to juggle beanbags.
Nice.
So that's kind of why I kind of coerced him a little bit, coaxed him, tried to talk him into playing golf because he wasn't going to be a golfer. So I gave him a second phone call, which I don't usually do. And
How old was he when you called him? Was he
they-
first grade, second grade, fifth grade?
no, he was in ninth grade. He was going
Okay.
to ninth grade. I do a junior high program,
Right.
and Will came out a few times. Him and his friend Wesley, and I knew that they were very athletic, and they were good golfers, good athletes. And then he didn't start showing up after a while, and then so I gave him a phone call and said, "Hey, Will, golf's starting soon. Would you like to join us?" And he goes, "No, I don't think so." So usually I'm like, I go on to the next person,
Yeah.
but I knew Will from class, obviously, so I had to give him a second phone call, and I'm glad I did, and he's turned out to be a pretty good asset for Sagertown. So.
I would say so. Let me ask you this question. You're saying that you watched him juggle,
Yes, I did.
and because he juggled well, you knew he'd be a good golfer. Explain that to me.
Great hand-eye coordination, just the athletic ability, the talent that I knew he had. I've seen, I watched him play other sports in gym class also.
Sure.
Everything Will touches, he does very well at. So I knew he'd be good with a golf club in his hand too.
So, Will, you're not really into golf. Coach calls you first time, you say, second time he calls you. What made you decide to play?
I'm really into trying new stuff, and I had golfed previously when I was younger. Getting into junior high, I just kind of faded away from it, but I wanted to come back into it and give it a try.
Any encouragement from anybody at home?
No, not really. My parents were always in favor of me trying new things as well, but it's my decision mainly to go out. Thanks to Coach, a little encouragement though.
Mm-hmm.
So you're glad you stuck with it then?
Absolutely.
So how did your year end up?
Well, I saved a lot of my bad golf for the end of the year, but it was an enjoyable experience.
Well, wait a minute, you made it to States.
Yeah. I mean, would you finish 28?
20.
Out of how many, Coach?
Well, across the state, about 2,500, but there's 36 that go there for AA.
Okay.
So
So are you saying your state day wasn't that good, but everything else leading up was really good?
That's correct.
So couple bad days that anybody can have?
Yeah.
And that's what makes golf so tough, right, Coach?
Yeah,
It could have been the
absolutely.
weather, right? I mean, it was cold.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, I would say Will's not the best cold weather golfer. He gets cold very easily. We're in the room playing cards.
Right.
A little phase 10, which I won 3 times, by the way. But and
Nice.
at regionals, and it was about 72 in the room. And he's like shivering and shaking. I'm like, what? So cold weather and Will aren't the best.
Well, tell us about, as you start in August, so the weather's pretty good, right? And your home course is Venango Valley, if I'm not mistaken, is that
Yes.
right? Which is a pretty nice course. Okay, then you go to regionals. You won districts first. That was here? Districts here at the Country Club, which is an
Yes.
absolutely superb course. How was the weather during districts?
It was fair. It wasn't terrible. There's been worse years.
Okay, so it didn't bother you much during districts? Did you win districts?
No, I did not.
Where'd you place?
Second.
Oh, that's pretty good. All right, was that disappointing for you, not coming in first?
No, it wasn't.
Why?
I hate to say that I don't prioritize golf next to my coach, but
Fair enough.
I don't necessarily prioritize golf. Volleyball is more of my main sport, and I'd mainly consider this a hobby for me, so to play second in the districts, it was more than enough for me.
Wow, you did pretty good for a sport that's a hobby for you. All right, so then you go to regionals?
Yes.
Where's that?
That was at Tom's Run in Blairsville.
How was the weather that day?
Quite cold. The course was soaking wet. A lot of golf balls plugged everywhere. So,
Can't find them.
No.
I mean, when the sun starts getting lower to the ground, maybe because I'm old, Coach, but when the sun starts going lower to the ground, I have a hard time finding my own golf ball. Because my golf ball is probably not in the fairway like yours is all the time. So I have a hard time finding mine. And when they plug, I don't know how you find them. Do they have people out there when you're playing regionals that help you find them?
Yes.
Yeah, they have 4 caddies, and a lot of times you get to regionals, a lot of parents and other relatives or family and friends are out there, and they'll go out ahead of the person driving the ball. They'll be out there, in Will's case, about 300-400 yards. That's a little joke, but so they'll be able to see when the ball lands.
I think I got
It's a lot
that. You
easier.
mean how far it hits the ball, yeah.
But it's a lot easier to find when there's people out there who watch it come down. When you're 300 yards away, it's a lot
Right.
harder to see where exactly it is.
Explain what that means if people don't know golf, what do you mean by plug?
Plug. When the golf ball plugs, it is basically underneath the surface of the ground because it's so wet. So it doesn't bounce forward at all. It just sticks right where it lands.
What's the rules during a regional? Can you move it up? Can you touch it?
Well,
When
they
it's
were
plugged?
playing winter rules there, which you
Okay.
can, as long as you're in your own fairway, you can't be
Right.
on someone else's fairway. But at any time there's an embedded ball,
Right.
it's in the surface of the ground, you get a free relief from that.
Can you wipe it off?
Yes.
Okay. Why does that help?
Well, to have a clean golf ball is very helpful. If you hit a golf ball with mud caked onto it, it's not going to have the same flight. It won't go as far.
If you don't mind me asking, what kind of ball do you use?
I play a Titleist,
Pro V?
Pro D1.
Why?
I like the feel that it comes with it. It's very,
Is that a hard ball or a soft?
it's more of a softball.
Well, what's the advantage of using a softball, instead of a hard?
I feel I have more control around the green. It's more susceptible to be
Spin better?
spun. Yes, spun by the grooves of the club.
Okay.
Coach, what would you say is his strong points of his game?
Other than his athletic ability, it's his short game. He's very good at up and down.
That's where scoring.
He's in regions, and he hits this ugly drive. He's in the woods, and
I can understand where that is.
and his playing partner has been with him all year. Says, he'll get coach. He's going to save par. I'm like, yeah, I wish he'd save par. Well, he punches one out of the woods. It rolls through the sand trap. It gets close to the green, and sure enough, he chips it up close and taps it in for a par. And I'm like, I was dumbfounded. But his playing partner said, he's been doing that all year long. So he gets it anywhere near the green, he's usually pretty good for up and down. I'd say at least 3 out of 4 times he's going to save par or birdie, whatever he's going for. So his short game is definitely a strong point.
What do you use when you're around the green when you want to chip? Say you're not near a trap. Do you use a sand wedge? Do you use a 56 club? What do you use?
I use a 60-degree wedge.
60-degree wedge. What kind of clubs do you have?
I have, all of my irons are Mizuno irons, and the 60-degree wedge I use is Titleist.
Okay? And you just have a common feel about that 60. You have total confidence in that club, obviously.
Yeah, I do.
How about putting? You must be a real good putter. Do you
Well-
get nervous when you putt?
No, I don't get nervous when I putt. I was good at putting up until the state competition. I had a hard time going up and down then.
Hard time reading the greens at states?
That, in combination with not having the right speed. Of course, when I gain so many strokes from going up and down, or shave off so many strokes, I should say, that's where it is for me. That's what I bank on, but I couldn't do that at states half the time, so my putting was just down the drain.
His first day, he had 10 3-putts, which if you just 2-putt every green,
Sure.
that's 10 strokes
Right.
less. You saw that 89 becomes a 79. Now
Which
he's
is
in-
unusual for him.
Absolutely. It's like I said, it's his strength, and once you start missing some short putts, just like the guys on television, it becomes harder and harder. It gets in your head, and it's really hard to get it out.
So that night then, when you went back to your hotel for the second day, were you thinking about those 3 putts all night, or you try to get that out of your mind? How's that work?
Well, I usually try to forget about bad rounds, bad holes, bad strokes, but considering I had to go out the same course the very next day, it was on my mind all night.
Are the greens just as fast the next day? Was the weather about the same second day?
Virtually the same weather, yes.
Coach, how do you help a player like that when he's got to play the next day and he had a bad round because of 3 putting techniques?
I just called it redemption day. It's a day to, we obviously knew he probably wasn't going to make the top 10, and that was one of his goals. At least that was one of my goals for him.
Sure.
But once you know that goal is probably unattainable, then it's like, just how far can you move up from the bottom you know, and he moved up 5 spots on the day,
Right.
which is not bad.
Right.
And he did play a little better. He shot 84 the next day, and that was taking a triple on the next to last hole. So
He's shaking his head, no, he didn't play as well as he
well,
wanted to.
he scored better. We'll put
Right,
it that way.
right.
But yeah, Will, you know, I watched him all year, and he was pretty much down the middle and, you know, on the green, putting for birdies most of the year. Well, this day he was, you know, he was chipping, trying to hopefully to save pars and sometimes bogeys. And when you do that at the state level on those greens, it makes it a lot more difficult. So
It wasn't chipping for birdies.
it wasn't chipping.
Will,
for
you
birdies.
played that course last year,
Yes.
so you had some knowledge of the course. Did it play tougher this year? Or
Honestly,
this was tougher for you this year?
Yeah. I feel that it plays tough every year, honestly.
Okay.
It really just depends on whether you're on your game or not.
So if you make mistakes, you're in trouble in this
Yeah,
course.
exactly. There are some courses that just don't seem to fit your eye.
Right.
And I believe this is the case for Will. I mean, his first year, he's actually played it since 9th grade because
Wow.
the team's been down
Oh,
there.
yeah,
He's been
right.
individual twice, but the team's played
Right.
the previous 2 years. And I think he shot like 93 the first time, 91 the next time, and then, you know, 89. So he's slowly coming down, but he's just not, you know.
Any
wasn't the
course
same.
that you guys play during the season comparable to that course?
You know more than I would.
Not really.
Not really.
It's a very unique course.
It's what we call it quirky. It has some holes that belong more on a putt-putt course than they do on a golf course.
Wow, explain.
Yeah, well, there's one hole, number 6, and the fairway's probably 15 yards wide, and then there's a big 45-degree slope on one side and another 45 degrees which goes in the woods. So you have to play it like a, you know, yeah.
I need
It's
a-
not
I need a
really,
bag
it's
of
not
balls to
really
play
a
that on.
championship course like I think it should be.
Uh-huh.
Like they used to have states down at
Penn
Penn
State, I
at
remember
the
that.
blue course, and they
Which
had
is a
it there
great
for
course.
yes. And I wish they'd go back there again.
What, maybe you do know this, maybe you don't, maybe Coach Garvey from Meadville knows about this, I'll ask him later the same thing, but how does it decided where states is held? How does the PIAA make that decision? Is it about who bids or what?
Well, I know, yeah, I believe so. I know for sure they don't ask me. I actually, while I was there, I was talking to a lot of the pros that were there in charge of the tournament, and I asked them about it, and they said, he said, funny I asked, because they were all talking about the night before how they don't believe this is a championship
Yeah.
course, and how they wished it would be changed also. From what I heard, and this could be just rumor, so you know, don't quote me on this, but they were saying the person who owns Tom's Run and the other one that on the east also owns Heritage Hills. And so I don't know if he knows somebody that we don't know in PIAA or not. I don't know if that's the case, but it just, in my opinion, it needs to be changed. It needs to be somewhere. Well, we were playing the round before, and the kid goes, "Oh yeah," because I practiced it Thursday night after school. I just went, well, you know, he drove there. Well, Will doesn't have that opportunity.
Sure.
We live 5 hours away. You know?
Right.
So at Penn State, a 3-hour drive is, you know, we can manage
Right,
that. But
right.
to go to Heritage Hills on a weekend or something, that's, you know, that's not my.
I think it was at Penn State for many years, if I'm not
It
mistaken.
was quite a few years, yes.
Yeah, it was.
Mhm. Yes.
Wow. All right, well, you're a senior. You got your ferry sport coming up in the spring. So while you're here, I might as well ask you, how good is Sagertown volleyball boys going to be this spring?
I don't know. We're going to be as good as we want to.
A lot of guys coming back?
Yeah, we have 3 seniors that are not coming back. For the most part, we have the majority of our team.
Okay. Where do you want to go to school? What do you want to take?
I'm looking at junior out of college
Yeah.
down by Penn State.
That's a tough school to get to. Very good volleyball program, though.
Yeah, that's all.
I'd like to play volleyball there, and I'd like to major in engineering of some sort.
You know, must be real good in math.
So no golf in college then?
No golf. I get that all the time, but no golf.
I've asked him 3 or 4 times, if coaches come up from colleges and ask you to play golf, would you be interested? He says, nope. And he's always very specific, and I'm okay with that. You know?
Yeah, and you're going to play golf for the rest of your life anyway. You might not be for a college team, but you're going to still play probably with friends and
Absolutely.
relatives and so forth, and, you know, take their money, well, you know, because you're real good at it, so that's good.
What was your lowest round in competition? Even last year, the year before?
Even par is my lowest round, 72.
Pretty good.
I haven't been able to break even par since freshman year. That was my main goal this year. I wanted to shoot on par at least one time. Couldn't get it done.
Your team coach again won the region, correct?
Yes, sir.
How many years have you won region down at Sagertown?
Well, this is our 7th in a row,
Yeah.
and a total of 12.
Are there any other teams in your region or just you? 7 years in a row, that's pretty good.
They keep throwing. Well, there was this really good team a few years ago named Meadville,
Mhm.
and they took them out of the region, which gave us more opportunity to
Ah.
start winning too. So yeah, our claim to fame is we tied them one time, but no, they were pretty
So
tough.
who's in your region?
We have Seneca, we have, let's see, Maplewood, Cambridge Springs, Union City. Cash came in this year, and which I was a little worried about because bigger school,
right.
moving down to single school, and then there's us also. So there's 6 teams. So we'll
So-
have our work cut out
So
for us
Union
next
City is in this, you play at what they used to call the Country Club at Union
Yes,
City, which
yes.
the back nine is kind of tough.
It is.
For me, anyway. Maplewood, you play Mount Hope,
That's correct.
which is longer than Venango Valley. I
Yes,
think
it
it's
is.
longer.
Mhm.
Cambridge is Riverside, and you don't want it to rain a couple days before you play that course.
And it did.
That's a wet course, unfortunately.
We had a lake on number 1. We actually had to move the tees up to where
Yeah.
the creek is
Yeah.
and played as a
and
par
I feel
4.
bad that,
Yeah.
drainage is so poor there. And Union City, what was the other team? Cash, where did they play?
They played Oakland Beach.
Oh, that's a nice
Yeah, and
one.
that's the closest course to Venango Valley.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Secretary usually doesn't play well there, but this year we did. We played extremely well there too. So
That's Ed's favorite course.
yeah, it's a good
There's a
course.
member out there.
Yeah, I'd like to get a membership there. It's only what, $300?
$300.
Yeah, you
I
can't
did it
beat
for
that.
2 years in a row.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
So,
So-
I got a question. When you're out in the league, you got to carry your own clubs, right? When you go to states, do they have someone carrying for you, or you still got to carry it?
No, we still carry our own gloves.
You're getting a workout, huh?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I don't think people understand how difficult golf is. You think about it, how hard can it be? You hit a little ball and you go chase after it. You're outside for almost 5 hours. You're traveling about 4.5, 5 miles, carrying a 50-pound sack on your back in 85-degree weather usually. So it's a tough.
Hey.
If you played enough, it's tough.
Well, even when I'm doing the golf cart, you get home after an outing or something,
Yeah,
you just
you're
feel
beat.
drained.
You really
Because you're
do.
outside, I mean, that heat
You
gets
really
to you
do.
after a while.
I don't know if Ed's tired when he's in an outing from playing golf or other things, but we'll leave it at that, Coach.
I understand.
But
Wow.
so you're carrying your own bag. All you young guys do that. Girls do also,
Yes, they do.
obviously. You don't have caddies, so you're on your own as a coach. You can't say anything or help your kid during the tournament, right?
That's correct. Tournaments and postseason, you cannot say anything.
Right.
So,
What do you do during states? You drive around and see how he's doing? You follow him?
well, the first day I was a marker, so I had a group of my own, so I'm keeping score or tallying for the other 4 kids in my group. And they usually, down in states, they'll put your student athlete, either the hole in front of you or behind you, so you can kind of keep an eye on them a little bit. So, but the second day I didn't have a duty, so I did follow Will the whole day, which was kind of nice.
Here's another question I want to ask you guys, you and Coach Garvey. Do you ever think, and I always thought about the PIAA doing this, I like to see them go to a 4-day state as a cut after the second day.
Ooh.
Maybe take the top 15 for the 3rd and 4th round. I think that'd be kind of cool. Run it like a PGA tournament.
Oh, yeah. Golf's stressful, though.
And a PIAA would keep making money, so maybe they'll look into that.
What is there, 36 people that go to states?
Yes, 36 AA, 36
Maybe
72.
cut it at 18.
Yeah.
Well, no, you can go 72 and cut it at 36 for the last 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as I'm there, I don't care how they do it. As long as I have a student there or an athlete there, that'd be great. So,
How much, Coach, are you going to miss this young man next year?
quite a bit. Will's not only a great golfer, he's a great leader. I was telling you, I have a 9th grader, Dylan Flinchbaugh, coming up, who's going to be really, really good golfer. Will really kind of took him under his wing, really kind of talked to him a lot, and he was one of the biggest reasons why Dylan stuck around. His mom even called me and said, hey, Will did a great job talking to Dylan, and they really appreciated it. And so Will's not only a great golfer, but he's a great kid, great person, smart kid, just a great leader. I really will miss his leadership, probably more than anything.
So, Will, you enjoyed your teammates, obviously,
Absolutely.
and you're building friendships which will last for a lifetime.
I hope so.
Yeah, which is really great. Well, guys, thanks for coming on. Will, thanks again for being here again.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Good luck to you in your future. Good luck this spring for volleyball.
Thank you.
And you've represented the community of Sagertown very well the last few years, and I know they're proud of this young man.
Yes, they are.
And Coach, continue your fine success down there.
We're going to try.
A couple more years till you retire. They're on 32, all right?
4 to teach probably, then after that I'm not sure how much I'm going to coach golf. We'll see.
You can coach and retire. That's not a bad thing.
No, it's not. It'll be a great day.
All right, we'll be back with Ryan Ferry and Coach Fred Garvey from the Meadville golf team. Back here in Sports Close-Up, the head coach of the Meadville Bulldogs, Fred Garvey. Coach, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us, Mike.
And next to you is your superstar, Ryan Ferry. Ryan, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let me start off by asking you the same question I asked Coach Hanley of Sagertown. What makes this young man a great golfer?
He's a really hard worker, really driven, focused 95% of the time.
That's pretty good for
Yeah,
Sagertown.
he works pretty hard. I mean, he puts the time in. He's very competitive. He doesn't like to play bad, doesn't like to have a bad score. So, really works hard.
Okay, Ryan, tell us about your year. Did it go as expected? Are you happy with it? You're only a junior. You have another year yet left.
Yeah, it had its up and downs. Towards the end of the year, I started to play a little bit better, but I also threw a couple good rounds in there during the season as well.
Okay, what's your strong point?
It's got to be short game.
Yeah?
Usually, when I play good, the short game's working.
What's in your bag?
I play the P790 TaylorMade irons, the Spider putter, and Vokey wedges.
You really like a spider putter?
I do.
You do?
Yes.
He switched once this year. He had another TaylorMade that he used for
Well,
a little
everybody's
bit.
like using these Scott, you know.
He has one of those too. Got them all. He's got all the
You
toys.
like the spider one, yeah?
It's good to switch. New
Well,
look.
tell us I mean, you guys having your private conversation. I got to interrupt this because I don't know. I'm sure people don't know out there. I have a putter. It's an Odyssey. What's a spider putter mean?
It's just a mallet. It's a red mallet.
And what do you like about it?
Just the way it looks, the way it comes off the putter. It's different than I've ever used.
So you're
The weight
telling
difference.
you're telling me different putters, the ball comes off differently?
More pure, depending on what face is in the putter. It'll come off more pure.
So putters do matter. I mean, everybody spends hundreds of thousands of dollars on drivers all the
Yeah,
time,
you did it
right?
13 times, maybe.
And very few people spend money on putters, and putters are probably more important, so it does matter what kind of putter you have.
Yeah,
So you would prefer the spider over Scotty King?
yeah.
He has both.
After
He uses
this
the
year,
spider.
Now, did Coach Garvey talk you into that, or did your dad talk you into that?
Well,
No,
it's
it's-
a little bit of both.
Your dad said if you go to a mallet, that people use mallets can't putt.
You proved it wrong,
And-
right?
Proved him wrong.
And let's tell everybody who his dad is. His dad's a golf pro here at the country club, which, by the way, Mike was nice enough to let us use for the show, so. And Mike, and your dad was an outstanding golfer in his
Still
day. And
is.
still is, yeah, so you took his advice and tried it and liked it?
He's a good putter.
I mean, you like it, so that's
Yeah,
the,
I like it.
all right, so, short game. What do you use around the green? Do you use a sand wedge? Do you use a 60
I'll use
degree?
a-
What do you use?
I'll use a 56 and then
56.
a 50 degree depending on the lot.
What do you like about those two?
56 is more controlled. You can throw it up in the air a little bit, and then 50 degrees is more of a bump and run club.
What's the difference when you use one over the other?
50 degree I'll use when I'm in front of the green, when I'm still in the fairway, so I can make clean contact with the ball. And then 56 is in the rough around the green or in the bunkers.
So when you're in a sand trap, you don't use a sand wedge, you're using a 56?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I guess I better quit using my pitching wedge, huh? What do you think? Go
Out
to
of the-
56?
Out of the bunker?
Well, not out of the bunker, I'm just close to the green.
Yeah, use a 56. Try it out.
I would ask your dad for help, but I'd ask you first. I mean, you are a little bit better than he is now.
You can say that, yeah.
How many times?
I like this kid now.
How many times you beat him? Your dad.
Once this year.
What did you?
First time ever.
With no strokes given?
No strokes.
Just head to head?
Head to
Is
head.
that
Next year,
country
Ryan
club?
has to give a couple, right?
Yeah, I'll have
Yeah.
to give a couple next year.
So how old were you when you started?
As soon as I could pick up a club. But I didn't get into golf competitively until probably freshman year, 8th grade.
You're late in your freshman year.
Yeah.
I mean, it was late in 8th grade. It was late. He plays a lot of baseball, so it was late in the season. His dad's like,
Yeah,
he's
he's
coming
a
out,
good
but he
baseball
hasn't.
player too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
His dad's like, he's playing, but I don't know if he's going to be any good because he hasn't picked up a club. And then like August, he was still good as a freshman.
You know, that's interesting. Let's ask about that. Play baseball, Meadville had a nice baseball team last year, if I'm not mistaken. A game away from going on. That was a tough loss because, you know, a lot of us were at that game. Do you play golf during the baseball season?
I try not to. I'll chip and putt sometimes. But, I mean, last year I didn't really play during the baseball season, so I'd come out to the range a few times.
And as soon as baseball's over, do you play summer baseball too, or you just go right to
No,
golf?
I just went right to golf.
Okay. What's your ambition about golf? What do you want to do with golf?
I'd like to play in college and see where that goes from there. Maybe go to the next level if I can, work my way up.
If you would get to the next level, and if you ever do, that'd be great for this area, you know, for Coach Garvey, for all of us, if you got to the next level. Dad gonna be on your back?
I'd hope not, no.
Okay, we'll throw that out there.
So when you're in league play and postseason play and all that, how many clubs do you actually get to carry in the back?
14 clubs.
14? Because I seen your dad carrying like 15 one time, so we could have, you know. that
Couple
was-
putters, sometimes he has an extra putter.
Usually
Yes.
there's a few extra clubs in there, yeah.
So he kind of cheated.
Yeah.
What golf ball do you use?
The Pro V1X.
What's the difference between a Pro V and a Pro V1X?
I think the X's have less spin, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's supposed to be, but I think they changed it this year, didn't tell us.
Okay.
Like, we usually
One
order
of
the
them
X.
has more spin.
One of them has more spins. We want the ones with less spin because he spins it too much if he has it, but
Does most of the young people on your golf team, Coach Garvey, use Pro Vs?
they use, that's what the school does, yeah, that's a team.
Oh, wow, that's nice. And why is that such a good golf ball? I mean, people like me, I mean, you see me play, I'm not using Pro, but, you know.
I think it's just because it's softer around the greens, a little more feel for it. I mean, the good players like Ryan, definitely know. The players like me anymore, or you, not so much. We
No.
don't know. We
Exactly.
can use anything.
Yeah, it's not gonna matter.
But like the better players can tell, you know, with ball flight and the RPMs they put on the club. But
So Ryan, you did pretty well in states, I think, don't you?
I had my ups and downs there.
Where'd
I
you
made
come
a
in?
lot of.
Where'd you come in?
What's that?
Where'd you finish?
16th.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. How many?
60, 36,
35,
35.
36,
Would you finish 28th last year?
29. Yeah.
29?
He struggled last year. This year, I mean, it should have been. He had what, 5 double bogeys and a
5
triple,
double bogeys and a triple.
which is odd for him. He doesn't make many doubles.
So hopefully
that's-
next year he comes in
He
the
just-
top 10.
Well, if he just eliminates the double bogeys and the triple to makes just bogeys, he's 6th, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it 6th? Yeah, 6th.
How'd you do at districts?
Pretty good. At 75, 73, I think. I played good both days. I made a few mistakes.
Where'd
but
you finish at districts?
Second place.
And that's from the kid from prep
Yeah.
Cat Patrick.
who didn't have a good day at states, did he?
He had a good day until he just had one bad hole,
Uh-huh.
and then it was tough to recover from. He's a really good player, Notre Dame player, going to Notre Dame. He's just,
So he's a senior.
yeah.
So then you have a good chance to win districts next year? That's putting pressure on you?
He works hard,
Uh-huh. And,
which he does. He's a really
and
hard player.
what does that mean for a golfer, coach?
Work hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's I mean, baseball interferes a lot with it because I'm the golf coach. I'm always
But-
like, you
but-
can do both. You can do both.
Well, you know, John Smoltz, I don't know if you ever knew who John Smoltz was. He, before your time, he was a great pitcher for the Braves, and they had a great pitching staff. All of them, of course, they only worked every 4 days, the whole staff, but they played golf all the
They
time.
didn't swing a bat. Though.
They weren't swinging a bat.
He needs to swing a bat,
Right.
As far as because he's got a good stick. He's a good hits from the left side of the plate. Really
So-
good contact hitter.
What do you like better, baseball or golf? Say somebody from college says, we want you to play golf, and another school says, we want you to play baseball.
I'm going to play golf 10 times out of 10.
So golf is your number one sport.
He's got a passion for it. He really is. He's good, but he's got a good eye. I don't know if it's genetic, but he can, like, if a kid's struggling on a team, he can pick out what's going on. He's
Wow.
very good at that stuff. He's actually talked about a career in the golf industry. His dad.
We're just gonna go
goes-
that way. Maybe be a golf pro yourself
You
someday.
may get something thrown at you by the guy watching us because
Yeah.
he's not a fan right now of that. But
He's not a fan of the industry he's in right now.
well, I mean, it's a tough industry.
Yes, it
It's- I
is.
mean, it's very hard.
Yes, it
And
is.
Mike's just doing what's best for Ryan. I mean, like any parent does. And
Right.
you know, we've had conversations about it, and like he would be great. I mean, he's grown up around it. He's works out here now. He'd be great at it. But it's also a very tough job, and his dad realizes that.
Being
Tells him if you want to be a golfer, become a principal like you are, Mike, and you could have all the time off in the world, or a teacher like me, and then you have some time. If you're a golf pro,
I mean, you get more when you're a teacher because you're going to work all summer. Although what teachers have to put up with, they deserve to have a break. Believe me, mentally you need a break. So anybody out there that thinks teachers have it easy, try it. They don't. And God bless that we have good teachers like yourself and Coach of Sacred Town, Brian, before you, that care about kids. Seriously, Fred. And that's what teaching's about. They just don't teach, they care about young people. Ryan, let me ask you this. I think I asked you this last year too, but I want to ask you again. Your dad's a great guy. I've known your dad since he was younger than you, okay? When you play a round of golf, you come home and ever ask your dad for advice, or do you go through the round with your dad? Does your dad listen and say, yeah, be honest, go ahead.
Every once in a while, I ask him to look at my swing, because usually it's something new every time that I can't pick out myself without looking at it. So I ask him to take a video of me or give me a drill or two to work on.
That's a nice thing.
Yeah.
And Coach, let me ask you this. Do you use technology coaching? Do you guys take a lot of video of your kids' swings?
Well, it depends on the child. Was he like Ryan? I take a lot of video of Ryan. If he's having a miss or he's not feeling comfortable, we take a video. He can usually pick it out. Some of them, not so much. So it's hit and miss. I mean, it's hit and miss. Sometimes we use it frequently. I mean, for a kid like Ryan, or like when Zach Ford played, or older, the little kids, they like to see themselves on video. The other ones, it's more basic, working, short game, getting around the greens, getting around the course. So it's both.
So Ryan, when you're in your season, how many times do you actually go to the range and just hit balls? Because some people, they'll just come right out, they won't go to the range, they won't hit.
During the season, I'll head up there for 15, 20 minutes max, and then I'll go play, because it's pointless to sit up there and bang balls. But during the summer, I'll do that a little bit more.
So if you play back-to-back days, you'll still go up there and hit a little bit? then
15,
come back?
20 minutes, yeah. Just to
Okay.
get warmed up in the morning.
What was your best round of golf in competition?
This year, 68.
What was
Here,
last year? That's a good round.
72, 71. I'm not sure.
Ryan, when you go to the range to warm up, you're not just hitting the driver, though, right?
No.
Why don't you explain us what you're doing up
Okay,
there?
what do you start out
I'll
with?
start out with the wedge and then work my way up through the irons and hit a few drivers. I don't like to be up there too long.
You usually
Correct.
finish with wedges too.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's interesting for people to understand, because some people just go to the range, all they hit is the driver for half an hour. Us amateurs, people hit the
It's
driver.
fun.
It's fun, and they never practice their other shots, and then they got out there and play, and they wonder why their other shots aren't, doing what they expect them to do. How about putting? You spend a lot of time practicing putting?
Before a round, I'll spend a good half hour on the putting green just to get a feel for the greens where I'm playing at.
What did you think of the course at States? What do you think about that course?
It's hard, but I mean, they set it up fair. There was a few tricky pins, a few long holes.
Did the greens drive you crazy this year, like Will? No?
I thought they were slower this year. Did you think they were slower this year than last
Yeah, they
year?
slowed them down.
I actually thought they
What
were
kind of green do you like? You like fast green, slow green, doesn't phase you either way?
I mean, fast greens are easier to get close, I
Well, you're
think.
used to this course.
Yeah.
They're pretty
consistent greens, I think.
Yeah.
It wants them to be the same speed at every one. It's tough sometimes.
Coach, who's in your region? Prep?
Prep, McDowell.
Where do they play?
Prep plays at Whispering Woods.
Wow.
McDowell
That's a hard
plays
course.
at
Whispering Woods, that's
Elk
real,
Creek,
that's
McDowell.
real tough.
Yeah, it's a tough. We played it, 3 or 4 times this year?
Now,
3
you gotta
times?
hit the ball on the fairway, Whispering Woods is scoring, don't you?
I think the first couple times you played, it's intimidating, but after that, the fairways are pretty big. I mean,
I played that once,
yeah,
I don't
like
think I'll
if you
ever go
measure
back.
fairways across, they're very generous.
Okay,
They just look intimidating visually.
got me intimidated.
So it's Prep, McDowell.
Where's
Warren,
McDowell play?
Elk Valley.
Elk Valley?
Yeah.
I've played there, that's an interesting course, Elk
Yeah.
Valley.
A little quirky.
Somebody told me that, before I played it, that everything goes towards the clubhouse when you're on the green. All right, McDowell, Prep,
Warren,
where do they play? Warren
Blueberry
Country?
Hills.
Is that nice?
Yeah, it's
It's
nice.
real hilly up there, because Warren being Warren.
The par threes are challenging. The greens are sometimes really good and sometimes, they're fair. That's a good course. Erie plays at Mound Grove, which was,
Oh,
I
Erie,
thought it was hard.
Where's that?
Fairview, it's just right on Dorsey, or like 90.
I've never been there, is it a nice course?
It was okay.
Mound
I thought
Grove.
it was hard. Like the
Well, we
greens.
do have a lot of golf courses.
Yeah, we
around
do.
this
Oh,
area.
tons.
Yeah, and then, that's the teams in your region
There's
plus
7
us?
of them. Culbertson is at, or McLean's at Culbertson.
Yeah, I've been there.
Who else am I missing?
Erie.
Wait,
Erie.
At
Fort
Beechwood.
LaBeouf.
where do they play?
Where's Fort LaBeouf?
Beechwood.
No, I'm backwards. Fort LaBeouf's Mound Grove.
Yeah,
Erie's at Beechwood.
Beechwood? Okay, I've been there a few times, that's
I
interesting.
think Beechwood was hard. That was one of our hardest, or
Yeah.
one of our highest
Yeah.
stroke averages.
You guys play here, obviously.
But we play here pretty well normally because it's,
No, but I mean, that's your home.
yeah, this is our home.
And
course,
also, that's what districts is, which
yeah.
is nice
Districts,
for
the
you
Marquette
guys.
Invitational, which
Yeah.
is 33 teams.
How is that?
It's a great tournament. Mike does an awesome job with it. It's-
How do you invite the teams? Do you work with
We
Mike?
kind
How's
of
that?
invite everybody in the district and then,
What is that, a 1 day, 2 day?
one day.
And what is that? Best ball, or how's that
No,
work?
just 4 out of 5, bring 5 golfers, count for the low scores.
Okay. That's all day, obviously.
It's not that bad. Last year was 130 132? 137.
So,
Players in it.
so the coaches in the area help run that then, I would imagine?
Mike runs it.
Mike and the staff put the whole thing together?
Yep.
Wow.
I mean, I help out a little bit, man, Mike does it all. It's a good tournament.
Maybe next year Mike will ask you to help out. I kind of doubt it.
You could MC it, you could be the one that
Mike,
announces.
me and Mike can help out, right?
Yeah,
I'd love to help out. I mean,
I would too.
it's all about kids.
you could come, I mean, it's a great tournament, it's a good tournament.
Yeah.
Come to the District 10 tournament, it's a great tournament too. The Country Club does a fantastic job running that. Very accessible. I mean, it's a good tournament, the District tournament's a good one.
Regionals is held where?
Tom's Run, down in Blairsville.
And how do you guys like that course?
I like it, it's neat, and it's a resort course, it's fun. It's hard, I think there's some hard
Yeah,
holes.
this year it was hard with the conditions. It was
Well, what, they were cold?
It's
cold
cold, there
and
was a,
rainy,
what number?
windy.
Oh, it's interesting you said, let me ask you this. Wind conditions can play havoc on a golf round, correct?
I think it's tougher than rain. I think it's
Yeah, I do.
wind is the toughest thing.
What do you, Ryan, when wind's in your face, do you tee the ball lower off the tee? Do you
No,
change what you
I
do?
just- I mean, I just try to keep it lower. I don't.
Do you keep it low all the time when you're teeing up?
I mean, it depends. If it's downwind, I mean, you go after it, but if it's inwind, you swing a little bit easier. You try to keep it low. Then with the irons, you just take an extra club and swing a little bit easier.
That's interesting what he said.
Like even
You would
putting.
think, wait, you would think you'd want to swing harder.
And in the
But you
wind,
wanna
you
swing
get more
easier.
Spin. More spin will make the ball go higher.
A little bit like baseball. If you
Little bit,
swing
yeah.
too hard, the ball doesn't travel as far. That's interesting.
Well, he's also a club and knot too. So he's-
Yeah, right. But still, that's, I mean, it's like mentally in your mind, what's the hardest part of golf for you?
Keeping it in play this year, at least. I mean, all the double bogeys, I think, from states came from blowing the ball out of bounds or in a hazard.
It happens.
Yeah.
First day, did you have a lot of double bogeys the
It was
first day?
4 double bogeys.
4.
So,
Shot 79, he had 8, he was 8 over, 4 double bogeys.
so second day you did better, a lot less double
He had
bogeys?
1 double and a triple.
Oh.
And some of it was some mental error. Like Ryan is a perfectionist a little bit, so when he hits a bad shot, like me and his dad were watching, he gets in a hurry to hit the next shot because he knows he can hit it the way he wants to hit it, instead of sometimes you just need to take a breath and slow down. But he's young, and I mean, you're
Yeah.
at the state tournament, you go for it. I mean, it's his game at that point. I mean, he's the one that has to post a number. He's the one that's put all the effort into getting there. So,
What do you do for a kid like Ryan, coach, who wants to play at the next level? I mean, how do you get his name out there to the coaches, that have programs? I mean, does anybody?
I mean, I have some contacts just from doing
Sure.
it for a while, and
Right.
then his dad has contacts, and he needs to get a golf resume, which Aaron told me he'll have tomorrow or the next day, so we
Sure.
can, because he had some interest, some golfers, some schools have already asked, give me your numbers, show me what you,
Right.
so,
Anyone's down south?
nothing really.
Do
I mean,
you-
we haven't sent it out, so, and he
Right.
has to also compile with the talking to his
Right.
parents, a list of schools that he thinks he can play at.
Sure.
And then a list of schools that, academically, because Ryan's a really good student, so, I mean, that helps his golf game. So as long as, it's got to be a good fit for him, and from there. And for his folks, too. I mean, it's got to work out. It's not just his decision, obviously.
What do you want to do when you get to college, Ryan, besides play golf, I mean, academically?
I think I'm going to do a business major, if not a PGM program. That's still a long way away for me, I think. I'm going to hold that off as long as I can.
What school do you want to go to?
I'm not sure yet. Still
He's
undecided.
still got another year to go.
Do you play tournaments in the summer?
I do. I try to play as much as I can.
Where do you play?
I played tri-state events, Erie events, a couple bigger ones.
When the bigger ones like in Ohio, anywhere out of state, or all in the state of
I
Pennsylvania?
don't
much
think he
all
played
in
out of
state.
state, yeah.
Plan on doing the same thing this summer too, or?
Yeah, as much as I can.
You're playing a tournament, going to Jersey this Friday.
New Jersey this Friday.
This Friday?
What's it called? It's a Hurricane Tour. It's Seabrook, is that where it's at?
Seaview
Seaview.
Golf Club.
This Friday, wow. Is this for
Play
young
Friday.
kids then, or?
He'll play with, 16 to 18-year-olds?
Yeah.
Nice.
So there could be some college students that will.
Yeah, do you like doing that?
Yeah, I like playing in those.
Is your dad going with you?
I don't think so, no.
Just your mom?
No, I'm going with a member here.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you.
That's good. I mean,
so
that's
that stuff like that will help get his name out.
good
Plus-
exposure.
Yeah.
That's good that you want to play in college too. Golf's a passion that you have that, do you watch golf? Did you watch the Ryder Cup drove me
Yeah.
nuts because we stopped, but did you watch it?
I try to watch as much as I can.
Who's your favorite golfer on the PGA Tour, if you have one?
It's a tough question.
I know who
Probably,
it is.
probably Phil.
Yeah.
He's left-handed, but it's Tiger too. He's a Tiger guy.
That's
Tiger and
good.
Phil.
Tiger and Phil.
He's a Tiger guy.
So you're gonna watch that
Yeah.
Thanksgiving tournament?
Yeah, I am gonna watch that.
Anybody know what channel it's on? It's on a
thought it was-
channel, I
thought
don't
it was
know.
Pay-per-view. I don't
That's
know.
what it is, it's
pay-per-view?
pay-per-view. Yeah, it's pay-per-view, because all the money they're gonna get, I guess, is gonna go to charity, or most of it will.
Good for them.
Coach, how many kids do you have on your team?
This year we're down. I mean, we had 11, 12 this year.
Yeah.
What do you?
Next year I have 8. I'm graduating 8 seniors. I'm down to 4. I'm
Wow.
combing the.
Because we've been talking, we do our shows in the summer. A lot of people are saying that golf has actually went down a little bit.
Well,
with,
according
like,
to
younger
the
golfers.
National Federation of High School, it's up 5%. It's not up 5% in Meadville area senior high right now. I mean, it's tough.
And
Like,
kids from Cochran obviously can golf.
kids from Cochran can play with us.
Have any
And I have
interest
one
there?
started for me this year. Zach Snedeker just graduated, 8 seniors, 12 on a team.
Is that Kim's son?
Kim's son, yeah.
Yeah. yeah.
Kim. I mean, so I usually get a couple from Cochran, and I just gotta, I don't know, I think sometimes when we were really strong as a team, like, kids would be afraid to get cut because you only keep X
Sure.
amount of players on the golf team.
Right.
So I think that's, but we're,
Do you think it hurts being in the fall when football's in? You got all that going.
no, I mean, I used to have 5 years ago, I had 33 guys show up.
Is there less kids playing in those youth leagues, like Oakland has one and so
the
forth?
junior program
Yeah.
here is down, in fact. I mean, not tons, but it's not what it, and the older kids, soccer, we lose a lot to soccer, girls-wise. Boys, I don't know where they're going, because we usually boys golfers aren't necessarily football players normally. I never have had a conflict.
So if you have a young male out there, either in Sagertown or Meadville, anywhere in this local area, your kid goes to school, have them see the golf coach in Meadville, see Fred Garvey, and even if the kid's only going into 7th grade next year, right, and have an interest in golf.
Yeah, I mean, I could put them in the right direction and
Right.
get at least make contact. I usually get over to the middle school a couple of times to, touch base. but
And they can
it's
start playing high school when they're in 9th grade,
ninth
obviously.
grade, yes.
Wow. How many girls did you have this year?
We had 7.
Okay.
So the numbers are up in girls. There's
Yeah.
now of that 7, 6 of them are juniors, so there'll be 6 seniors next year. So they'll be going through what I went through this year.
It's good to be a girl golfer, though, because schools are dying to find girl golfers to give
a
them
lot
money.
more opportunities.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is. Mr. Mayor, anything you want to ask these two gentlemen before we wrap it up here? Ryan, what are you excited about right now? Now, golf is, well, you're still going Friday, but what are you excited about? Are you looking forward to your getting into conditioning for baseball? I guess that takes place after January, I would
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah, I'm excited to play. We should have a decent team again this year.
Yeah, you guys had a real good team last
Yeah.
year. You guys were exciting
fun to watch.
Coaches back? The same coaches as last year?
Scheppelman's stepped down and Tartaglian's taken as assistant coach, I believe.
Okay.
That's going to be a good addition.
Still got Coach Stewart?
Yeah.
All right, well, good luck in baseball.
Thank you.
Hopefully you have another exciting year. Good luck when you go to Jersey. This will be aired after you go to Jersey, but we hope you do well there. And we're going to keep an eye on you, Ryan, because you represent the Meadville community very well, and you're a heck of a golfer.
Thank you.
And you're better than your dad was already, so I don't feel bad about that.
Just remember, always listen to Coach and not your dad.
No, you listen to your dad too.
You listen to your parents. You have two
Yeah.
excellent parents,
Two
by the
great
way.
parents.
You're blessed. So I want to thank today's broadcast. I want to thank my football broadcast partner, Ed Marin, for helping us out. Ed, thank you very much.
Thanks for having
I
me.
want to thank behind the camera today, Kevin Tappaney. Kevin, thank you. And I want to thank Mike Ferry and the Meadville Country Club for hosting us today. Special thank to the coaches who spend a lot of time coaching these young people. And if you have a coach, no matter which sport your child plays, thank them. Okay, sometimes I know we love to second guess our local coaches, but thank them for putting the time, because they really care about your son or daughter, and they're putting a lot of time in. And the amount of money they get paid is about a penny an hour, isn't it, Coach Garvey?
I don't
If
know.
that. You don't do it for the money,
I
do
don't
you?
know what
You guys don't do
what
it
it
for the
breaks
money.
down to hourly.
And I want to thank all the viewers. Thanks for watching Sports Close-Up on Armstrong.